This one's high pull dip deadlift. We're focusing on more of a parallel grip with a high pull and a dip. So using a band, you're just going to stay square with the grip, head tall, and just pulling straight up like that. So trying to keep the head nice and tall, bring it right up, and then mirroring that position. It is still good regardless to try and make sure that the elbows slightly turn out in a dip. So if you were challenged like last month, super hard holding that turn out the whole time, working on that. Doing that turn out the top is always good to do with the elbows. The other option we're doing in the gym here, we're using actually the bars for it. But even when you use the bars, you want to make sure on the dip that the elbows go all the way there, you get that full range of motion with the elbow lockout. And then coming down, trying to look more level, not bending down too much, definitely not squirming out of the bottom. Really want to press up and just keep the shoulders nice and even, keep it square. So you can do it with the feet on the ground like we did last month. If you found that was useful, you can use the band again to stand in, which is quite good for that nice position at the top. Whichever version you're doing, just keep nice alignment. As you get stronger, you can use more range of motion, and depending on what you want. But here, really trying to get that chest up and that turn out. Nice and tall. So either choose the version or the reps that allow you to complete the reps with good form. So if you're trying to make it harder, you can do more reps, or you can choose a harder version rather than forcing yourself to do something that's harder but you can't quite get a full rep or a full lockout or a nice position. It's always going to come back. Especially in dips in the rings, you want to always film yourself or use the mirror to make sure you're not compensating on one side. I know for me when I fatigue, I have one shoulder that moves a little bit different, so I've always got to be mindful when I'm doing those last couple of reps, and if I'm forcing reps out at the end not to compensate and squirm through there, because oftentimes that's how you're creating more of an imbalance, because those really heavy reps are the ones that are emotionally loaded, so they're the ones that your body really remembers, and if you get stronger with the compensation, every time you get challenged at that point, you'll keep compensating the same way. So it's important to really hold good form all the way through and just limit yourself to that. Your body will get stronger, and some days it's just, you're just matching your last performance. Don't always try to improve your strength, and some days you're weaker, and that's okay, but it's always important to maintain good form and not get injured, because you will get stronger a lot faster if you don't get little niggles or big niggles. For the deadlift, just doing a single leg deadlift. So without weight, these are quite good even. Just doing it like that, really getting that nice hinge in the hip with the bent knee. Of course, you can make it harder doing straight leg in a supporting leg as well as the leg that's in the air. You could make that heavier. If you've got dumbbells, you can add the weight. If you're using the weight like that, usually you just put the dumbbell down beside the foot type feel, even if you're bending the knee. Keeping it square, really driving the hips through, coming up tall, getting that lower trap activation. You can use the band as well, so like that, tighten it, and then pulling up, and then letting it pull you down into that stretch, fighting it to get the strength in, and slap yourself. So if you're doing that, it's up to you. You might want to do the workout with no rest. Go pull, push, 30 seconds each leg, or if you want for the single leg, you might just do 15 seconds a leg. It is quite nice to work at all constantly. It's a nice workout, and because they're kind of resting the upper body when you're doing those single leg deadlifts, especially if you're just doing the body weight ones, not even holding a dumbbell, and just working purely through the leg and relaxing the upper body other than holding a nice postural position. By the time you get a full minute in the upper body before you come back to the high pull, so that works quite well. So getting 3 to 5 sets, pay attention to your form. If you've got questions about your form or why you can't, get stronger in your dip or, get that nice turnout, send us through a video. A lot of the times, just, the reason why I ask people to send videos is most of the time I find is that when people start filming themselves, that's when they really get that self-awareness and realise that they've been kind of forcing reps or haven't been keeping as good a form as they thought. And I know that's true for myself. A lot of the times I thought, oh yeah, that was aligned or that was straight, especially when handstand work, or I was in that position. Then when you feel like, oh, no, I wasn't. So go back a bit, work on it, get stronger. The balance comes through, the tissues adapt in a better way, and overall the results much more favourable. So with the extra for this month, because we do in the classes we do a 3-minute extra. So for the high pull dip deadlift workout this month, we're just using the rings, or one ring actually, for the bicep tricep work. So the bicep is pretty simple, just holding a ring like this, and you're going to basically bring it up behind the head, pulling back. You can make it much harder by walking further forward. But you're really trying to get the body with the elbows in and right up behind you like that, and control it on the way down. Then for the tricep, this exercise is really good for stretching and strengthening. So we're in this position here. You can use it lower for the bicep one, you just walk further back. So you go right under it. So here, going into this nice stretch position, and then strengthening there. So I'm getting that stretch for my shoulders, my lats, long head of the tricep, and then strengthening the tricep in that position to help improve my handstand. To make that one harder, I just move my knees further back, like that, open the hips up more, control that. So we do 5 bicep curls and 5 of tricep extensions. So 5, 5. And then we go into a loaded hamstring stretch. So you just use the band, stepping on the band, and then just finding that position where it's keeping that arch in the lower back, lower traps are active, and holding that. So we use 15 seconds for the bicep, 15 seconds for the tricep, and then 30 seconds for the hamstring, loaded hamstring. So that way you get 3 rounds of that, 3 minutes, pretty quick, but it's a nice finisher, plus you just get that little bit more out of the pull push than just doing a high pull dip deadlift. So yeah, enjoy that as well. Extra 3 minutes on top, it's good. See you next time.